Okay, so it kind of look like we are live already. We got to share the screen. It is plug-in. All right, great. This took me forever to come on here. So for everybody that just tuning in, thank you so much. This is my first live broadcast with Liberian Radio or Public Radio. So it's taking me a while. It took us a while to get here. So as you are aware, my first guest today will be Sweet Mussolini Myers. I like to call her entire name. Okay. So we're gonna have her on the show later on today here. But again, this is our very first live broadcast, all access Miss Libdiva. We will be interviewing artists, entertainers, entrepreneurs, advocates, human rights advocates, etc. So we're gonna have a lot of those that's going to be going on. So if you want to follow the show, we're going to be on here and we're going to be here every Saturday. Okay. We're also going to have guests tomorrow as well. So we're going to have the advocacy for uh, women or children against raped in Liberia. They're also going to be our special guest tomorrow. So make sure you tune in here. But share the live video and we will get started. We're talking to Sweet today. So share the live video and we'll get started here in just a moment here. Let me just go ahead and for people that don't know who Sweet is, let's play some of her hits, okay? I got one favorite song from Sweet. So Sweet, if you're watching before we get you on the live here, this is my favorite song. You and Quincy B, that's one of my favorite songs here, okay? Let me look for a. That's one of my favorite song from you, girl. Okay. Let me look for it. Please share the live video, guys. Please share. Okay. Sweet, I think I got what's on here now. You know what? I don't know why my phone is low. You know why? Because I think I have this on. That's why. Oh, this is so low. Let's see if this is gonna come up. It is so low. I can't even hear it. I'm really trying to play this song though, Sweet, but it's not even letting me to play it at all. Yeah, it's not allowing me. I'm just sharing the live so you guys can also share it along with your friends, and then we will get started. Okay, so our special guest today will be Sweet Lucille Myers. I know she here for me to call her full name. Well, I just love to call your full name, girl. But that's what we're doing right now. Okay, so we're gonna be talking to her again. This is my very first live broadcast here, and thank you to Liberian Public Radio for actually getting me on their platform because I've been looking for a platform to bring my show on, but they agreed to actually do it with me. So I'm excited. It's my first show. Let me know. Tell me how I did. I'm excited to also talk to Sweet because it's been my long, long dream to actually talk to this songstress. So it's giving great joy to bring her on. We should have started at 3 o'clock today. So I'm gonna let you guys know what happened. And we running some technical difficulties. So first, my computer will come on, and the next thing I knew, when the computer tried coming on internet, wouldn't stay at all. It kept going off and on, and then we decided to switch to the phone, and then no earplugs, and I had to run to the store to get AirPods for the phone. Brought it over here. What happened next? The AirPods I not charged, so I had to get it charged. So we had to switch back to the phone, to the computer actually. So the computer right now is what's helping us out. So please share the video, share the video, and then we'll get started. We'll talk to SWEETZ. I know we're running late because we should have came on an hour ago, but we're running into some issues. And so that's the reason why we are just starting. Okay. But share the video, please, and we'll get started from here. I still have her. So once I see you guys, I share the video. We will get SWEETZ on here and then we'll get started talking to her. But please share the video. Awesome. So my tech guy in the back saying my audio is perfect. So that's good. Perfect audio, that's a good one. So good. We're on track, okay? So we're gonna have SWEETZ here. She's gonna be talking to her in a couple of minutes here. I just want you guys to share the video. Let's get more people watching, and then we can get into this interview. I know I have lots of questions. I know you guys have lots of questions also too. If you do have a question, you can drop it in the comment section, or you can message me. If you're a shy person, you don't want to put it in there. You can message me. I'm not gonna call your name, so that's perfectly fine. Okay. So again, welcome to All Access Mz Libdiva. So for people that really don't know me, I started All Access Mz Libdiva a couple of years ago on radio. I took a break, work on family, work on relationship, and came back and saw like, you know what, I was meant to do this. So I am gonna do this right now. We are gonna have special guests next week, of course. Special guests tomorrow. So we're gonna be talking about the rape issue in Liberia. We're gonna have some advocates on the line with us here talking about the march that they have set up. Where's the march going to start from, where it's going to end, what's the reason behind the march. Of course, we have seen a lot of pictures, a lot of stories about rape victims, the rapes going on in Liberia. We need to put a stop to it. I know it's a topic that we have to deal with tomorrow, but I just want to just put it out there. If you want to tune in tomorrow, that's what we're going to be talking about. But for now, we are going to be talking to SWEETZ Myers. Okay, so please share the video. I'm sharing them as well, so share it also too, and then we'll get started. Okay, I also share it on my broadcast. So let me share in other groups I'm in, and then we'll get started talking to SWEETZ. Okay. It took us forever, guys, but we're here. Okay, that's progress. Okay, that's progress. I'm gonna get you in here in just a moment here, SWEETZ. Let's just get people to tune in, and then we'll get started. We're getting people here. That's good. And people are sharing the SWEETZ also. So that's good. They're sharing the live. And I'm sharing on my phone as well. So I can see that you guys comment. If you put any comment down here, I can see it. And then we'll respond. And then we'll get the interview started for you guys. Okay. Oh, all these group I have to share in. It's a lot. One woman, SWEETZ, I have so many groups that I'm sharing this video in though. So I'm trying to get all of them on here, and then we will get this interview started, because this interview been overdue. Okay, overdue. So let's talk about it. I didn't know I had this much groups that I'm in that I'm sharing this video to. So yeah, please share the video. Share the video. So every group that you guys been inviting me to, I'm sharing my video in it, okay? Just so you know, I'm just pasting in there. Just posting in every single group. And we get started here. We got 28 people watching now, so that's good. Let's keep the number going. Let's keep the number going up. Okay, so we're gonna bring Sweets on, and let's see what time is it right now. At 4:30. Okay, that's perfect. So we can do this for 30 minutes. Okay, Sweets, ready? We got you here live now. Good. All set to go? Awesome. This has been my dream. This interview has been waiting for it forever. You have no idea. From your project film days till you started making hits, and I've been super, super proud of your joining. And so when I go on Facebook Live and I see people, you know, trolling you and seeing all these negative things, I'm like, I never met this girl, but for some reason my spirit just takes her. There's something about her. She's a star. She has talent. Everybody don't have to be the same. And so when you came up with this song, I was like, okay, I gotta bring her on board. This is awesome. I need to talk to her because I'm hearing some room on this song. You know, it has some talks in there for the haters too now. So we need to talk about this woman song. So we can get started. So for people that are watching who don't know who you are, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience that are watching.
All right. Okay, so my name is Sweets. I am a Afro beats artist primarily. I've been doing music, let's just say, well, Liberian music industry, I would say for probably like 10 or 11, 12 years or so. And yeah, I don't know. Like, that's pretty much it.
There's
Yeah.
so much for you to credit yourself for, but I mean, if that's all you can remember and think about right now, we would take that.
Yeah. I'm
So
really bad at
let's
introductions.
let's
Yeah.
take it from your childhood days. So there's romance and there's argument. I want to hear it from you. Were you born here or were you born back home?
I was born here.
Okay. That's what I know. I was like, I know she said it once upon a time, but people are like, no, she wasn't born here. But
Right.
I'm like, she was born here. I know she has said that once upon a time before. I don't remember which articles or
Yes.
interview I read
So
it at.
what actually happened was that so I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. And then when I was like a baby, my mom, like my entire family moved to Minnesota. And I was raised in Minnesota up until 16. And my mom decided she wanted to relocate back to Liberia. So I went along. And at the time when I had first started, like my music career and stuff like that out there, it was a known thing, that I was from the States. But then when I got the opportunity to go to Project Fame West Africa, we had to like completely kill the whole she's from the
American.
States thing, because the competition was only supposed to be for West Africans, period, across the board. So it was a situation where like I couldn't even hold an American passport to even go to the people in that country to say I'm even like going to the competition to
Right.
to compete and help to put, like the Liberian name out there, like positively, basically. So that's probably where the mix up has happened. And then also going to Liberia wasn't a situation where I was like flying back and forth. I was there, and I didn't leave to come back to the States until 2017. So that's probably where the mix up, yeah.
Gotcha. And for people that don't really have a good background of Project Film is almost like American Idol. Am I correct?
Yes, very
It's like
correct.
the African version.
It's like American Idol meets a Big Brother.
kind of what is it like? Because you were the very first Liberian ever on the show, and I know there was a Liberian girl called Margaret that followed after you. But what was your experience there? Because I was a huge fan when you was on there at that time. I was on radio, and I remember that's how I got in touch with Hassan, Cypher, and everybody over. And I'm like, what are we doing? This girl need our help, and we need to push her. So I want to hear your experience out there being the only Liberian out there on that show.
Okay, so okay, correction. I wasn't the only Liberian that went, or the first Liberian that went, but I think what happened is that like Liberia has been behind for a while, especially like when it comes to entertainment and media and things like that. So there were other talents, Liberian talents that went before me, but it was not publicized due to the simple fact that Liberian media and Liberian entertainment was behind. So it wasn't overly publicized until I went, because before I went, I was already working with Blue Links Records, who had newly opened up Hot FM. So they had their platforms in the different networks and stuff like that to help to push and publicize that, yes, indeed, this particular girl who you guys know as SWEETZ has been working with us, and you know, we've been pushing her songs and stuff on the radio. Okay, she's the same person as Musalem Myers, and she's going to Project Fame. So that's what helped to kind of like over publicize it for people to even know on this side that, oh yeah, there's a Liberian girl who's in the house and she's pushing Project Fame West Africa. But the experience as a whole, it was just it was interesting because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had never watched Project Fame before. It was just a situation where they were like, oh, this is a competition. Oh, Project Fame, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. I was even scared to go because it's just like, what kind of person just gets up and goes somewhere and she'll know where she's going? She'll know like, I never watched anything that had to do with Project Fame. So everything that was happening like in real life, in real time, my reactions and everything. I was reacting to everything that was going on without knowledge of how the competition ran. Where there were others in the house with me that had been auditioning and been watching Project Fame because, you know, they were Nigerians, so they were right in Nigeria. And so a lot of different people came in the house with like their different strategies and schemes, you know, of how they were going to win or how they were going to get to the top, whereas I was organically just moving through. So it was very different for me, especially being among like a lot of different nationalities. I was the only Liberian that entered into the house. Among 32, we dropped to 18, and then 18 made it in the house, and we were living in the house together and going through a like music academy / competition for about almost 3 months or so. And every weekend we'll have the elimination show and the nomination show. So every Friday it was just very nerve-wracking because we didn't have access to phones. We didn't have access to TV. Like, they just cut us out from the world, period. We didn't know exactly what was going on outside. So whatever they threw, we were just like a bunch of lab rats in the house. Whatever they threw at us, they would just throw it in the house. And then we would be reacting as to whatever they're feeding to us in the house, basically. But it was interesting. I learned a lot. And one greatest thing that I have to thank Project Fame for is that I did not know much about Liberian culture. And it's very, very crazy. But for me to be able to first-handedly see the way in which Nigerians cultivate their culture, especially when it gets to like certain tribes, and knowing the differences between the Yoruba and the Igbo and the Hausa and all of that, and just seeing the way they cultivate their culture, the way they love their culture, it instilled that same thing in me. So when I got back to Liberia after coming in 5th place in the competition, I came back to Liberia with a different mindset, which was digging deeper into the culture and helping myself find my identity culturally. So you can see that reflecting in who I am now today as a person and my music now. Yep.
Gotcha. So so you say you came 5th place in the
Yep.
competition, or
Yep.
4th place?
5th place.
5th.
Yep.
So you were close.
Yeah, I
You
was
came.
very, very, very close.
You were very close. Because I
Yep.
remember I was putting minutes on people's phone to go and vote for you. I don't know if they voted or not. Maybe it helped, but they were like, "We're gonna vote for you." We even did it on Hot FM, where I sent one. I was like, Just put me on your phone. I don't care what you do with it, but just make sure you just text. Because I learned that we couldn't vote because we're in the US, so we don't have
Yep.
access to voting. We are disqualified from voting, so we
Yep.
couldn't do anything. So I was like, okay,
Yep.
since we cannot do anything here, what we can do, we can help the people to vote because they're like, oh, we need data. You need to
Right.
put minutes on my phone for me to be able to vote. So I'm glad I was able to be part of that journey for you. I was really rooting for you. I was sharing those videos every day, every week when you sang on the show. I was sharing it. People were like, what is this Nigerian stuff Richard keeps sharing? I'm like, I know it's Nigerian stuff, but there's a Liberian on it. That's the reason why I'm sharing. If they were all Nigerians on there, I would not even give a turn about what that show was all about. But I'm glad that you went that far on the show. I'm really glad. Now,
Yes,
my next question,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
you're welcome. My next question is, what was it like working with the late Quincy B? You guys had a great chemistry. Like there was
Right.
some at some point there was rumors going around that you guys were dating. You guys didn't confirm nothing at all. What was it
Right.
like working with him? And did you guys try to date? It didn't work at all? Or give us the tea on that.
Um, it's funny because me and Quincy didn't even know that we had like musical chemistry until that project. Despite the fact that we had been knowing each other since like 2012, we did
Oh
not know
wow.
that. So I just feel like it was one of those situations where like it was just a divine situation. It was meant to happen within that time frame because it was so many like I worked with Quincy majority of the time on group projects, you know. So if the UN is doing some type of campaign or something like that, him as a producer, they'll throw the contract his way and they select their artists or whatsoever. We come in, we do the songs in the studio, and that was pretty much it. But as far as like a one-on-one collaboration, that was the very first. And it's funny because I have been running behind him for it, I feel like forever. I would walk in the studio, my man, what we doing our song? Oh, boys, we'll do that song. Don't rush that thing. Don't rush that thing. Like, I will harass him and he'll just be like, the problem with you is like you're so versatile. You can do so much. Like, I don't want to rush this thing because I want to make sure whatever we do, like it fit me and you. So it was something that was like in the making for years until I even took like a 1 year like break between 2016 to 2017, or let's just say a year and a half, 2015 to 2017. And I went behind the scenes and started working with other artists on like video production and styling and hair and makeup and all the other extra stuff, background stuff. And it was 2017. I decided, I'm gonna get back into the swing of things. And at that time, I had got casted for this movie, Providence. And so right before I went to go and shoot, he just came to the house for a different thing altogether because I was still a video director. And he came to the house and he was just like, "Oh, so sweet. You ready for our song?" I was like, "Oh." Like, "Oh, you ready now?" He said, "Yeah, wait to listen to something." And that's how he put it on. And right when he put the song on, it's like the two of us got lost in the vibe of the song. And at that point, it was just, the chorus on it, and it was just his voice. And he was just like, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "Definitely it's a vibe, and definitely it's our vibe." So we started sharing ideas back and forth, and I said, I think this needs to be like a conversation between me and you. So as you say, a fine girl, I reply to you, a fine boy, and everything you saying, I say it back to you. We have a conversation. I wanted to be like a Usher and Alicia Keys, my boo type of thing. And I wanted to be a situation like when people listening to it, they can visualize like, this is me and Bay on a vacation and we running away from the rest of the world. This is me and Bay against the world. And that's how the song basically just came into fruition. I didn't end up recording until I got back from the video set. And everything I did in the studio, I made it up in the studio versus me writing. I was supposed to write, but I didn't write. But
Oh wow.
yeah, I came up with everything in the studio, and it was just like me and him. I think it was like maybe like one or two other people in the studio, but the entire studio was dark, like just set the whole entire vibe. And I mean, yeah, that's
You guys
exactly
did
how.
your thing. That was my song. That was my anthem. I had it as my ringtone for me and my damn babe. I was like, this is a jam. I love the song. That's a hit. Okay, that's a classic right there. For me, that's a
Thank
classic.
you, thank
It can
you.
never get old. Like every time people play. And in 2017, my girlfriend got married in Uganda, and
Okay.
that's the song she and her husband danced to. That was the only Liberian song the
Wow.
DJ had. Can you imagine
Wow.
that?
Wow.
Of all
Wow.
the songs that were out before 2017,
Yeah.
that was the only song the Liberian DJ had, because she fell in love with the song. And then when she heard the story, the tragic story behind it, she was like, oh my God, I need to make this song my wedding song. And this
Right.
was the song that she actually danced to with her husband. And
Wow.
the whole place light up. When I heard the song, I was like, what you know about that song? She's like, because she's not somebody that listens to Liberian music a lot. So I
Yeah.
was shocked when she was listening to that. She was like, what are you talking about? I know the song, I play it every time. I mean, my fiance love it. That's the reason we decided to actually dance
Wow.
to it. But I was so shocked. I was like, play it again, DJ, play it again one more time. DJ was like, that is the, the bride and groom song. I can't keep playing it over and over,
Wow. I
Rachel.
know. I
But
know.
that was a great song. Okay, so kudos to you for doing that. Now,
Thank
next
you so
question on
much.
my list here. Are you still working with Louis McCarthy?
Me and Lewis are still like we still have a very good relationship. He's a big brother to me. He's like a father figure. He's everything in one. But as far as like working together hands on, right now he's not necessarily like in the position to do that. And myself too, I'm not in the position to do that. So I pretty much still have his support. But everything that you see me doing now is more independent. But at the end of the day, like I call him, I send him my stuff, I say, hey, listen to this. What do you think about this? Okay, what do you think, the marketing should be for this and things like that. So we've always had that relationship, even when he was like full on managing and full on into music. It was never a situation where it was like, okay, he's a dictator. Because what a lot of people don't know is like even in 2017, that was his second time managing me. So we actually we actually had a management experience before, right after I came back from Project Fame. And he was
Oh
my
wow.
first manager after leaving Blue Links. And it didn't work out then because his schedule was different from my schedule and he still had a full-time job at that time. So I mean, like, in these situations, especially with me and him, it's just pretty much like an understanding. Okay, when life calls, you got to deal with life, and we got to understand, where both of each other are at that time. But yeah, he's pretty much like my advisor. I keep him in my corner, but everything that I'm doing is more independent now.
Gotcha. Now that you brought up that Blue Links situation, let's talk about it. Like, you just vanished, just disappeared from there. We don't know what happened. There was rumors, there was some issues going on. Like, what's actually happened with you and Blue Links that you decided to go yourself? Because you all started Hot FM. You guys
Yeah,
all started that whole brand together. So to
yeah.
see you not part of it anymore and they're not supporting your dream anymore, it hurts me a lot. I know it's none of my business, but it hurts me. It
When I
hurts
was
me a
in
lot.
my-
So, but I'm making my business anyway. So what is
yeah.
that whole situation?
So I think like looking back at it and reflecting on it, shit happens, life happens. I'm gonna continue to say that because it's been like it's been years of growth. There were certain things that I didn't understand at that time because I think when I started working with them, I was like 16, and they
Very
were
young.
way on the older than me. And then there was also certain things that I didn't understand because
Oh no, we lost her. Okay, you're back.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I was saying, and then there was certain things that I was trying to say or that I was trying to do or I was trying to portray at the time that they didn't necessarily understand. So I feel like that pretty much was the conflict. Um, and it was just like it was a transition period for them when I came back from Project Fame. I didn't understand that at that time. I didn't understand, what the transition meant financially to them and all of that. So it was just a situation where it's like I wanted to continue, like the momentum that I got from Project Fame. And they were kind of like going through this transition period. And I didn't understand because nobody wanted to explain to me. They felt like I was too young. I wasn't going to understand the business aspect of things and stuff like that. So it was just a lot of things that weren't being said from both sides. And both sides not understanding one another and wanting to sit down and talk and say, okay, this is how we're going to work this out, you know? So it was just one of those
Right.
situations where I was just like, okay, well, I want to continue moving, so I gotta,
You gotta
like
bounce.
I gotta bounce, I gotta find my way out. Y'all still my family, we can still support one another, but I gotta kind of step out on my own and figure out what it is, that I can do or that I want to do for myself, because there were certain
Right.
goals that Ultima Studios, which is the production company for Project Fame, gave me, and I was in a rush, like to get back there in like 3 months. So my whole thing was, okay, I need to do a demo, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to hustle. Like it was just a lot of like goals that I wanted to
You have
knock out.
plans, girl. That's what it meant. You have
Yeah,
plans.
I had plans that I wanted to knock out. I mean, the plan still didn't necessarily go that way 100%. I would say, like, out of all the plans, maybe it got done probably maybe 60%. There was just a lot of challenges, especially after I made that move to leave, because I don't think they understood it like that. I don't think a lot of people understood it like that. So it was just, it was a lot. It was a big, like I said, people, we didn't talk it out. I would say we
Right.
didn't talk it out.
And
Yeah,
that's the thing in the Liberian community that I notice a lot. People don't talk about stuff when it goes on. They just let it just die like that. And then
yeah,
people hold all these grudges and animosities in them. And it's
yeah.
hard for people to let go. And that's why you start hearing gossip and chick chat here and there. Because that's their
Exactly.
feelings. They are actually, instead of them expressing their feelings to that person that they have the issue with, they
Right.
rather express that feeling to outsiders, and then outsiders take it like, oh, they're talking about sweets, and then
Right.
somebody thinking, get it back to sweet sweet. I can't believe they say this
Right.
stuff about me. 'Cause there was a lot
Right.
of rumors where people were calling you names, how you ungrateful, they
Yep.
did this for you, they did that for you,
Definitely.
and you don't appreciate what they're doing. All of these go back to us, okay? So I was
Yeah.
like, I know her. I really haven't met her before, but I met them before, a couple of times in the US.
Hmm.
So I really need to get what the story is, because there's always two sides to every story
Yeah.
that's out there. It's never one side
Yeah.
to the story.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
glad that
definitely.
you play your part.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
definitely play your
I
part.
heard all of that, and that was also a stigma that was kind of like put on me when it came to like working with other people. Like it was a lot. There was a lot of like things that were said, a lot of things that were done and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like I achieved what I could achieve by myself,
Right.
and I'm very proud, about that. I don't hold any animosity, because actually, after I went, because I think I was working by myself for like a good, let's just say, 4 to 5 years, and I would say to a certain extent, it was still all love, because anytime I wanted to release a single, I would just call and be like, hey, I have this single. And they'd be like, okay, come up to the station, drop it off. Come, on Blue Show, or come on Master Queen Show. So, I mean, like, there was always love there. It was just a situation, like I said, where like they were going through a transition. It was not explained to me for me to understand, to see how I could maneuver, while they were going through this transition, or how I could possibly help. And on their side, I don't think they really looked at it like, oh, well, she could help because I was so young. They were looking at me, to be like a small girl, a little girl. Even though I was like
Right.
19 at the time, but still, they were looking at me to be like a little girl. So it's just like, we're not even about to waste our time and sit down and be talking to this small girl, because she will not understand. So it was just like
Right.
a whole lot like communication that wasn't there. And I would say right before I left, I didn't even know I was leaving at that time, but right before I left, I had a conversation like with all of them one by one, and was just like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. And I apologize for whatever, harsh feelings from my side, or what, however I contributed to anybody feeling some type of way. And I'm just like, we are family. Like at the end of the day, I started with y'all, and that's
You still
it.
gonna
So
be here.
now, where everybody is much older, you know, people married,
Getting
people
it.
got kids and stuff like that. I always reach out. It's not anything like they reach
So
out to
you're
me.
still
I reach
cool.
out to them. And yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
family.
We talk
Okay.
we talk all the time. There has been some discussions about reviving some past works and stuff like that. So I mean, and I still call Cypher my play pie. Because next question, I still my play pie. Yeah, so yeah,
That's good.
so the respect is there. Yeah.
Okay, so next question here. Now that you left Blue Links, and what actually have you to relocate back to the US and come back to Minnesota?
Okay, so in 2017, like after the tragic passing of Quincy, and my pledge and everything just kind of like blew up. um there was an offer to do a single tour, And that's what landed me back in the US initially. So I was here for a summer tour, and I toured around to a couple of states. And what a lot of people don't know, because I'm just opening up and talking about it now, before Quincy even passed, I got a phone call when I was in Liberia that my mom was here, like in Minnesota, and she had got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, no.
So for me, at that point, financially, I really didn't have it to say, oh, yeah, I'm about to buy a plane ticket and rush over here to my mom's side. So I was just kind of like devastated then. And then Quincy must have passed like maybe 3 days after that, because he actually talked to my mom and told my mom, like, oh, Oma, it's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to go through the surgery. You'll come out fine. So it's like when he passed 3 days after, that just put me in a position where I was kind of like losing my mind and feeling like I was going to lose every single thing that just meant something to me. So the tour was a blessing in disguise. It just came. It just, and so we came. I did the tour, and I was able to like be around my mom and see my mom, and um just looking at her situation, her health, the living situation, and just everything, period. I feel like that's when life started to kick in for me. And I had to weigh my options of going back to Liberia and continuing this music thing in Liberia, or staying by my mom's side and building an adult life here in America. Because like I said, when I left, I was 16. So I didn't take the driver's test. I didn't have any work history here. Just all of that. It's almost like, even though I was born here, the stuff that I went through from like 2017, making that decision to stay here up until now, is just like somebody who immigrated newly, JJC. That's
Right.
literally where I was at. So it was just really hard. And like that ended up being the reason why I ended up staying. So I had to like start from ground zero, like flat, not having anything, and work my way up, personally. And it's definitely been a very like grounding situation for me. And I'm kind of grateful for it, because in Liberia I was just like an artist. Even though like I had other stuff that I was doing, but they were all entertainment related somehow, there was never a separate identity. It was always SWEETZ, and I heard you call my name, so it was always SWEETZ, Mussolini Myers together. And it was never SWEETZ and Mussolini Myers. So now there's SWEETZ, who you're looking at, and then there's Mussolini Myers, who has to do her 9 to 5. Well, it's not even 9 to 5, it's 8 to 5, and clock in 8 to 5 every morning, and
Right.
collect her checks and budget and do all that. So yeah.
Okay. So now that you call your last name, and last time I was just talking to a friend of mine and I mentioned your last name, it came to mind like, are you related to May Myers?
I'm not
Are you
related
guys
to
related?
I'm not
No,
related
I
to
just
May.
thought of it. I'm like, you got the same last name.
No, I'm not
No.
related to May. I mean, we do call each other sisters, just because we have the same last name, and like we have worked on a couple collaborations before, where there's just like a long story behind those collaborations. I mean, we're still trying to work on getting that one collaboration, but every single time
Right.
we do a collaboration together, we always say the Myers, because I mean we are the Myers basically. So no, we're not
Okay.
related.
So
We're
it's
not
no.
related.
Okay.
I believe she's Kran. I don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Kran blood in me. Um,
Okay.
my dad is actually like from Bo other side, which is like on the borderline of like Liberia and Sierra Leone. So technically, he's Sierra Leonean. Technically,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's where the Meyer side comes from.
Gotcha. Okay. At least I know that because I was say I'm gonna ask her during that interview because I'm not sure. The name kind of
Yeah,
make me think they might, but sometimes people have the same last name. They have no
yeah,
connections at all. So that would be
yeah,
you guys' case.
yeah.
Now
That's
let's
literally
get
what happened with me and her. Yeah.
okay, great. Now let's get into the dench situation. I
Okay.
know a lot of people have talked about it. A lot of people have their want to say, and there's so much stigmatization going on. I know
Mm-hmm.
that's the same thing that happened to Kiki and
Palmer,
what's
Kiki
the
Palmer.
yeah, Kiki Palmer. Same thing happened to her, and
Yep.
there's other, Liberian artists or other entertainers that those things have happened to and people never believe them. I will tell you
Right.
my story and my situation today with Dench. Dench, I was the reason why Dench even got a visa to get here. I don't really talk about it a lot, okay? Through
Mm-hmm.
my connection, I love him like a little brother, and he came here. So when Dench came here for his first tour, help him out, get around, whatever he needed, provided around everything for him. Then story about again do it later. However, when I heard your story, it reminded me because the last concert he had in Minnesota, I hosted a concert. After the concert, I left because I usually be driving my friends. I always volunteer to be the driver because I don't trust anybody driving me in my car. I don't trust nobody. So dropped my friends off and then I came home. But while he was performing, his necklace couldn't stay on his neck. So he asked me to hold a necklace. So I had a necklace in a little bag, in a little plastic bag container thing I had in my purse. So when I got here, he called me like, hey, my necklace, Rachel. I'm like, oh, shoes. But I'm so tired. I'm talking this like 4 a.m. 4 a.m. because the
Mm-hmm.
concert got done like 2, 3 o'clock. I didn't get home because I got to drop everybody off before I got
Mm-hmm.
home. So like 4:30. So he was like, "Can I get my necklace?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you come, I can drop it down." But at this time of the night, I am not getting back in my car to drive anywhere else because I got alcohol in my system. I'm not trying to get a DUI. I'm lucky that I already made it home, so I'm not coming off. He said, "Oh, can I come?" I'm like, "Dench, who in the goddamn mind would have a dude come visit him at 4 a.m. to do what to my house, honey? Oh, I just want to come and just sit down with you so we can let you small. I got a flight to catch at 7 a.m. I got to be in Rhode Island for the other show." I'm like, "Dang." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "First of all, the person that brought you, they know when your flight leaves. You didn't pay for that flight, that ticket. They're the one who's in charge of it. So I suggest that you set your butt down to whatever you are. When you're going to the airport tomorrow, have them call me. I'm right off the highway to get on to get on the freeway to go to the airport. So call me. I will come outside. I will drop the necklace for you. I'll go back. But you're not coming to my house at 4 a.m. I'm not entertaining any conversation for any guests. And besides, what happened at 4 a.m.? Ain't no good thing happening after 4 a.m. It's ungodly hours. So I'm sitting there looking at like, Finch, why would you want to come to my house at 4 a.m. to do what? So when your story broke, I was like, I probably could have been a victim too, and people wouldn't have believed my goddamn story because they would be
Mm-hmm.
like, first of all, why would you invite or do at your house at 4 a.m.?
Right.
You probably knew the dual intention, but you invited him over to your house, and I
Right.
felt bad. I was like, did not believe in this girl's story, but it could be true that what she's saying. You guys was never there. It was just them two of them. So when
Right.
I came out, like I seen people touring, and I seen all these bloggers and all these self-proclaimed talk show host going on and on and on and not really getting the whole story, not even hearing from you, but just taking from whatever live you did, and they just
Mm-hmm.
coming down like, oh, she's lying. Oh, she's doing it. I felt so terrible. I wasn't even doing any live video at that time. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I cannot believe we are synchronizing this girl instead of actually going again, behind the victim or what's going on. I know it was a tough situation that you went through, everybody ganging up against you. I want you to know that I never came up against you. I always believe your story 100%. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, if nothing ever happened, and he said nothing like that happened, what is his actual story? If you're not speaking against it, if you see someone is ruining your character, your reputation, then you need to speak up and see what is the truth. If you're not going to address that, then that draw a line right that there's something going on somewhere. So my question here is that whole situation. What I don't want to go into what happened because you already did interview, you already talked about that. I don't want you
Mm-hmm.
to revisit that again at all. That's not what I want to do. What lesson did you actually learn from that? I mean, do you regret coming up to speak about it? Or do you think that you would have just shut up and not be, judged by other people? Like, what lesson did you get from that whole situation?
Okay, so what I've learned about myself as a person, I feel like I've always been this way, even when I was a kid, is that I'm a very reflective person, you know. So I reflect so that I can understand things that's going on in my life and like learn the lessons that I am supposed to learn. But in as much as I am that type of person, I'm also somebody that I believe in everything happening for a reason because there are lessons that you need to learn, in life. And when God keeps throwing things at you a certain way and it keeps on happening, it means obviously you're not learning. So
Right?
if I could like go back down into, like my past, there is not a single thing There's not a single situation, no matter how traumatic the experiences are or were to me, that I would erase from like my life, because they are all a part of who I am or what made me who I am today. Without that situation happening, and without all the trolling and all the backlash, period, like even during the Quincy B thing where they were busy throwing everybody name inside talking about some the other person killed their person, the other person killed this person.
Right.
Yeah, you know, with all of like without all of that, there would be no song called Woman. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, the only thing that I can say in that situation is that I make sure, like, when I am like having like meetings or whatsoever, like, I don't care who you are, I'm not gonna be going by myself, especially if it's an evening meeting. I'm definitely not going by myself. When I was in Liberia, I never used to go and meet with people by myself, you know. And when I was in Liberia, I was always in these type of relationships where the men that I was dating were very overprotective and overbearing, that people like danger so couldn't even try shit in Liberia. So I just think it was a situation where it's just like, oh, she in America now. You know what I'm saying? I think it
Right.
was kind of like premeditated. So it was just like, oh, you know, she in America now, so let me try my luck. You know, knowing that people's schedules too busy, nobody was gonna be able to go anywhere with me. You know, just understanding that it's a different dynamic. You know, it's not the home front. So I don't necessarily have like 100% of protection.
Okay.
Like the way in which I had, you know, when I was in Liberia, being in all these relationships. My manager, who was Lewis at the time, Lewis was not in Minnesota. I think Lewis had either no, Lewis was on the East Coast. He wasn't in Minnesota at that time. But even Lewis, like, it kind of threw him off guard because, like I said, then just somebody that we knew, you know, like for a very, 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 very long time. My first introduction to the Denge man was he was like best friends to this other guy who I met on this other singing competition when I first entered Liberia, like 2009. I think all of them were like in some group together or whatever, they used to sing or whatever. That's how I met. But I didn't even know that was him. I didn't put two and two together until Rallo and I had started dating like in 2013, because Dendra like Rallo Peking, you know? So
Right.
I just, yeah, like it caught everybody off guard. So the only lesson I can say I learned in that is like, I don't go to meetings by myself. And if it's a situation where like I need a representative to actually go to the meeting with me, or maybe it's a phone meeting or a Zoom meeting, you know, technology or whatsoever, kind of like it kind of protects me, you know, like from that.
Right.
And that's you know, like that's pretty much it. I'm grateful that I did not like rush on social media, you know, to like tell people, because I've never been that type of person. And it's funny because this is actually kind of like popped up like in the recent days. There's a lot of people like expecting me to speak up on everything that's like going on in Liberia as far as like the rape cases and stuff like that, being that I passed through that. And the only thing I can say is like there's a lot of campaigns and a lot of organizations and stuff, you know, where people are, you know, forming like marches, or I'm not there, so I don't exactly understand, you know, like what's
How?
going on. But I'm somebody, I plan my things. Before I could come out on social media, I reached out to women and child's right activist Kula Fafana. So it was Kula Fafana taking me through the necessary steps, connected me to the various, you know, Front Page Africa and Daily Observer and important news outlets, telling me what to do as far as going to the police and getting this lawyer involved or whatever. Like, it was somebody that was letting me know the right steps to take. I don't just go about things that type of way. So it's the same thing in this situation when it comes to speaking up about all these things that are happening and whatnot. It has to be a situation where it's like organized, so that everything is presented a certain way and it's not scattered, you know, like all over the
All over
place.
the place.
All over the
Okay.
place. So I support
Gotcha.
what everybody else is doing, but it's a situation where it's just like, okay, reach out to me, you know, and let me know, like, okay, Sweets, we want you to jump on board. We want your voice of this. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Let's see how we can tie in what I got going on with what you got going on. You know, like it's all
Mhm.
in. It needs to be planned and organized. But yeah,
Okay. But you on board, but you just wanted to make sure to reach out to you because I know there's 2 or 3 groups going on right now. I know
that's what I'm
Benita
saying. That's what I'm
has
saying.
another
Like it was
group,
one group. It was one group that reached out to me, and I think they're called Game Changers or something like that. And it was just like, oh hey,
I
this is
seen them too.
you know, we having a march. We want for you to, you know, send a voice note and this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'll get it done. But the thing is, I didn't even really like look at the flyer. I know
Yeah.
what it's for, so I just posted it out like straight. And you know, that's the type of
Right.
person that I am. I publicize it straight because it's just like, okay, I know this is what it's for. So I'm gonna publicize it. I'll share on my
Right.
story. I share on my Facebook. That's that. So I didn't even know that the march was yesterday. And
But
so
they have another one going on again.
that's what I'm saying. And so I couldn't even send like the voice note anytime. So I just like text the person. I'm just like, hey, I know you reached out to me. My schedule's been crazy. My schedule's been busy. But let me know what other way I can help. You know, let me know what other way I
Right.
can support because I wasn't able to meet the deadline to send this voice note and things like that. Let me, you know, keep me on board. Then you have I don't even know who has, but I think you said that you're interviewing them.
Tomorrow, Benita and her group also to have another one
Exactly.
going on the
Exactly.
25th.
Which, when you look on the flyer, and again, it's one of those situations where like I just saw everybody sharing it, so I instantly, you know, like went on the
Right.
story or whatsoever. I posted it on my story, and it's one of those situations where you know, like people were just saying like, "Oh, we expect you to say more about this." You who did, yeah, but who are in front of these things?
Right.
Who can I get in contact with so I can know, okay, XYZ, so on and so forth, this, that, and the other. If you want me, how do you want me? How else do you want me to support besides sharing it on page or
Sharing down
posting
the
it on
wall.
story?
Right.
Especially if I'm in this rebranding process where it's just like, okay, things are being planned and scheduled as far as posting or as far as doing Facebook lives and adding things like there's a
Right.
business mechanism. So all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
You got to be
So,
careful too and what you attach yourself to as well.
well, I mean, I understand that. But when it comes to like just the whole girls being raped and women being raped and stuff like that, I'm in support of the marches. I'm in support of the campaigns. I'm in support of whatever needs to be done to get this to stop. Because to be frank, that shit is getting out of hand. Like I
I'm
can't like
telling
when I was in Liberia, and this is just a 3-year increment. This stuff, like it was not going on. Maybe it was going on, oh,
but we
but
didn't know.
we
Right.
didn't we didn't know. We weren't hearing about it. But the rates that is happening is like 3, 4, 5. As I'm learning now, you know, like as I'm
Mhm.
seeing like the articles and stuff popping up, it's like 3, 4, or 5 different instances, and it's women, but
Mhm.
the
Kids.
majority of it that's happening are kids.
Mhm.
What is wrong with you people?
Yeah. Babies. The one that really hurt my heart is the 3-year old.
Yeah,
A
that's what I'm saying.
3-year old
Where the guy was sick
getting
enough
raped.
to tear the girl open, like
Like
what?
3-year old. Like how
Yeah,
can you? I was just over it. At this point right now is the cases have gone out to 958 cases just for the month of August. Okay? Just for the month of August. Total case 958 and still counting. So we're not even aware of the other ones that are going on right now. We're
yeah.
not even aware of it. So it is a pandemic. We have to declare as a pandemic in Liberia
It
because
is a
this is
pandemic, and
not, yeah.
the saddest thing about it, like I said, even though like I support the movements, but in my mind it's just like, what are these movements? You know what I'm saying? Gonna
War.
do what? Not even for like I understand what it's for, but what is it gonna do? What is the outcome? Like, what's the
Mhm.
goal? Because there are things that even when I was there, we have marched for before. You know, like less
Ain't
serious
nothing happened.
matters or whatsoever, but nothing has happened. It was even a different government said nothing has happened. So it's like, what is the way forward? You know, and I know like at a certain period of time, they were campaigning against mob violence because that was the very first time me and Quincy ever worked together. We did like this group song, and it was me, Quincy, Denj, Tantan. It was like a lot of different artists, and we did a song against mob violence. But it's like I got mixed feelings about the whole mob violence thing now, because it's just like in other West African countries, they burning people to death and castrating people for that kind
Mhm.
of nonsense. So like, it's like, if that's what we need to do, then I guess we need to do it. In
I
as
guess
much as
so.
it is a risk, because I've been in, like, I was there and I saw how, you know, they'll say row, you know, like car rogue on somebody, and at the end of the
Hmm.
day, they kill the person, and you end up finding out that maybe this person not like didn't even steal anything. I understand the
Yeah,
risk, but it's just like, what can we do? I feel like maybe examples need to be set so that
right,
the other sick asses, sorry to say, can just go high in the corner, because they're getting
right.
too much, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to have them on the show tomorrow to really hear what's their plan, what's their goal, what is
Right.
the whole, plan regarding the march, what they hope to achieve from that. I mean, there's a lot of words on the street that they're asking government officials to march with them. I'm like, what? You should be asking government officials to step into this issue and actually put an end to it. They're not supposed to join you. These are lawmakers that
And
are
just
supposed to stop this issue from reoccurring every time, not join you. But again, I'm talking to them tomorrow, so I hopefully they
we
tell
got
me
some answers.
why do they have government officials marching when these are lawmakers that can change these situations, that can change, that can have a phone call or have a meeting and make these people go away. So why are they even part of the march? So that's a whole question, a whole nother interview I gotta ask them tomorrow because I
I
don't
mean, but
understand why.
that's why I'm taking it back to like the whole mob violence thing, because I mean, like, even when it comes to like improvement in Liberia, not just like this whole rape and sexual assault thing. When it comes to improvement, we have this thing where we sit and we wait for the government to do everything, and sometimes you can't sit and wait for the government.
Mm-mm.
If Americans were gonna be that type of people, America would not be where it's at right now. In as much as America is messed up as well, but there are developments in certain areas that happened because it took somebody being a leader in their community.
True. That's
You
true.
see, so for me, I'm very big on community leadership, and I feel like that is one of the things that needs to be instilled and enforced. Like within Liberia, I can even speak a little bit on when I was there. I started a initiative where I used to teach like music and dance at schools, because we don't have any music and dance we don't have any arts programs. Period. Like the children don't even do like little basic arts and crafts, you know.
Wow.
And it's so funny because like here in the States, arts and crafts, painting, cutting, pasting, all that nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense, but you know what I'm saying. Like all that stuff,
Right.
it opens doors for your creative directors now who do creative directing for video work, or cinematographers who do cinematography for movies, or people who even build sets for video. All of that thing is start
Mm.
right in
Right
arts
there.
and craft, where you cutting out shapes and pasting it on paper. You
Right.
see, so it's like I yeah, I started like the initiative, and I started at my old school. I graduated from SPS, and slowly started branching out to like other schools. I used to teach at Firestone School in Harbel, and that's what I mean. Like, it just takes one person, like with an idea and just a little bit of resources. I didn't have many resources. I barely even had money, but
Right.
it was the passion and the drive that was just keeping me going,
That's the
so
key
it's a
word.
thing. Like, we definitely need to make community leadership like a thing. That's what we need
Gotcha.
to be campaigning about.
That's a whole
Seriously.
nother one that we have to do a whole nother show on it.
I'm
So
telling
let's get into the main reason we're here. This woman single. I mean,
you. Okay.
you just dropped a single,
Hmm.
okay? I have yet to go download mine yet because you're on Spotify. I'm like, girl, can she put it on Amazon? Like, I have my Amazon
It
card.
is. It's
Okay,
everywhere.
great,
It's on Amazon. It's on Spotify. It's on
great.
Apple
Because I
Music.
buy
It's
all my
everywhere.
singles on Amazon. Amazon is easy. I can just download it. Boom, it's on my phone. I can listen to it on the go. So great.
Okay.
So now the inspiration behind this song. Where
Mhm.
can people get it? Is Sweets working on the album and in collaboration? All of that. Let's sum it up here.
All right. So the inspiration behind the song, of course, as we've been talking, has been like all the scandals and propaganda that, like the SWEETZ brand uh, has been involved in between media. And I like the way you say so-called talk show hosts. I like that. And
Yeah.
so-called blogs or whatever the situation is. Like, it's just been I feel like it's a lot of bullying that's been going on, with me in the past 3 years. And uh, it's crazy because it was just today I was like online, like on Instagram, and I saw Christoph was on my sister Rigslin Myers as well.
Mhm.
I saw, like she interviewed him, and it was like a clip that was uploaded where he was talking about how he's been bullied in the industry. I know Buckera is somebody that also been bullied in the industry. Somebody called me, was just like, yo, between you and Buck, I don't know who, like who gets bullied more. And then
Right.
there was the whole MC Caro thing, and then I'm also seeing like these finalists or whatever the situation
The Big Brother
is
Barbie.
for Big Brother Brabi. Like, I'm seeing them. So while I've been so self-absorbed and self-centered in my own thing that I was able to create, woman centered around all of that, I just realized that this is actually becoming a normal thing, and people need to stop. That's another thing that we need to campaign about. Cyberbullying, because it's becoming a thing, like in our industry. But anyway, that's another topic. But
Right.
okay, so back to the women's single. So that's honestly like what inspired me. And I feel like people felt, like our mumu, because we're not talking. People
Right.
felt like, oh, she's a softie. Her name's SWEETZ. She's soft. So she doesn't have no clap back in her. Like I don't know what people were thinking. Like, that's their business.
Right.
But I basically just kept my receipts, everything over the years, which, I mean, as
Period.
people can follow the promo and stuff that I was even doing for the single, that's literally why I was dropping. Some people got in their feelings, it's whatever. But I didn't ask nobody to be a part of my story. You know what I'm saying? When you decided to go on your blogs or your so-called talk shows, or you decided to comment or open your little chat groups, because I got private group chats, and my picture and my
I keep
Nina,
hearing about it.
yeah, my picture and Nina used to be all inside, used to be talking shit, and people used to
Oh
screenshot
wow.
and send it to me. So, like when y'all decided to do that, y'all decided to make yourself a part of my story. Not that I made y'all a part of my story and turn it into a song. There's no reason to be getting vexed, my people. No reason to be getting vexed. Because I'm a human being. I will talk the way in which I want to talk. And my mouth is slick too.
Exactly.
It's just not rude, but it's slick. That's my thing. So that's how women came about. I just addressed all the rumors and addressed all the things that everybody been saying, and kept it moving. Um
So there's a
yeah,
clap back to all the so-called bloggers and the talk show hosts. There's
yep,
a
it's
clap
a
back.
clap back. All the so-called
Okay.
bloggers, all the so-called talk show hosts, and even like the audience, because we have people in our community that live for this type of sick ass shit.
Oh
Sorry to
yeah.
say it.
Oh yeah,
They
girl. Are you
live for this
kidding
type
me?
of sick ass shit. The illiteracy rate that in our community, like, it's just like, I don't understand. So it's just a clap back to like haters. Period. You hating on me, like
Okay.
it's a clapback. Even like with the whole dance situation and stuff like that, it's a clapback. Anybody that had anything to say, everybody who did not support me, or everybody who say I lying, I this, I that, I looking for fame, I like what? Like something. I mean, like that's it's a clapback. Period. Like that's what women is. And I also did it to inspire other people who have equally went through the same thing. Like, you can't keep a woman down. You can't keep a man down either if you in the same situation. And it's
Right.
okay, because I was on Instagram. There's this Kenyan artist who was signed to a big Nigerian label called Chocolate City. Back in the day, they used to be big with Ice Prince and stuff like that. Her name's Victoria Kimani. And she came out with her post on Instagram. It's still up, where she actually like screenshotted like a cover that a Kenyan magazine had actually printed out, Kenyan newspapers, of them bullying her and calling her a vixen and talking about how she's over sexualized. Basically the same thing that's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, wow,
Oh
I thought
wow.
this was the only thing I thought this was only our community, but it's also happening in her community. She was cussing the hell out of all of that. I said, yes, ma, enjoy it. I commented, I said, yes, ma, I enjoy you.
Get them, girl, get them, get them. All right,
Yes.
great. And so, Woman is on every platform right now. Like, give us where we can get the Woman single from.
A Woman is on every single platform imaginable. Amazon, Apple
Spotify,
Music, Spotify,
iCloud.
iCloud. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Woman, WOMBMAN, and SWEETZ.
Okay. And how
Yep.
much is the single going for?
I believe that I honestly can't lie to you. I don't know.
I think you said 199.
Yeah,
I
it's usually
think.
199,
All
either
the things.
199 or
Yeah, it's
99.
199. I think.
It's somewhere around there. But you know, like with Amazon, you buy, and then with like the other platforms, you stream. So I'm just not sure. Like between a lot of this stuff is honestly new to me. Like I said, being independent and then coming back like within this time frame with technology. It took a whole 3 years to get back up to speed, you know. But at least now I'm
Oh,
ready. No stopping for me.
awesome. Now, you working on an album, or is it just gonna be a single now? Maybe later on.
Um, Honestly, I have a lot of material. I can't lie to you.
You gotta put them
Uh,
together, compile
yeah,
them together,
I
and
mean,
put them.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just depends on the way the world is going. I'm moving with the way the world is moving, you know, like right
Okay.
now, how society is looking on both sides of the spectrum and just seeing like what's the best option. Because right now, though I want to please fans, I'm working on expanding my fan base. Um, not, I'm going to be real. I don't always want to be so negative about our people, which is Liberian people, but it's gotten to a situation where I don't even know the true fans from the haters. I don't know the true supporters from the people
Girl,
who don't support. So at the end of the day, if I'm going to move up in life, especially like when it comes to my career or business or whatever it is that I'm doing with myself, it's a situation where like y'all will like Liberian people with balance. Let me just put it like that. Liberian people with balance. I am kind of like reaching out to different nationalities and just other people that just enjoy my music, period, enjoy me for who I am and not into all of that,
your
you know.
business. Into your
The
business.
thing is like I don't mind like people being in my business per se, you know what I'm saying, because it's one of those things that come with being an artist, but
Hmm.
it's just shut up and listen to the damn music at the end of the day. And
Just into the
seriously,
song.
yeah, because Michael
Okay.
Jackson, he had all of these things that people were saying about him. By the end of the day, the man is on the grind. He is still number one in everybody's book. All the way R. Kelly in jail.
He's still
People
number
still
one.
banging R. Kelly music.
I
Tory
was just
Lanez.
listening the other day.
Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. She came out. She said Tory Lanez shot her. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm giving it 6 to 8 months. People will still be like people will start playing Tory Lanez music again. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, when you're a great artist, it should speak for you. I'm a
Right.
great artist. Not everybody's gonna like my music. Not everybody's gonna like my story. It is what it is. Those who like it, those who resonate with it. That when you not like it, move on. Go to somebody else.
So, Woman is out there right now. We can get that single. Oh my God. It's been amazing chatting with you today. Oh my God. I'm so glad that you opened up and told us all your experiences in life, being here and dropping that single. Are we working on the video? Because I got to lose weight for the video now. Working the video. Okay.
Definitely. It's in the works, and there's more things in the works. Like I said, I do have a lot of material. It's just about dropping it and actually making money from it because we can't be dropping for
From it.
15 again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It
But
costs
yeah,
money to create those.
it
Right.
costs lots of money. It costs a lot of money, especially being in the forefront of everything I'm doing now. It's like, yo, this costs this costs that. What? Like, you
Right.
know.
So before we get off here, how people can follow you, all your social media pages, tell us right
So
now.
okay.
Instagram, Twitter,
Yep.
Facebook,
Yep.
fan
So
page.
with the exception of Facebook and YouTube, right?
Mhm.
Um, at First Lady Sweets is my handle on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on everything. At First Lady SWEETZ. It's all lowercase letters, no caps. On
Okay.
YouTube, you'll find me Sweets hyphen the First Lady of Liberian Music. My actual Facebook artist page is SWEETZ, the First Lady of Liberia, basically. Which I'm probably gonna end up changing that to Liberian music just to kind of like, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
like connect us to the YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty much how you can find me. And
That's
yeah,
it.
that's pretty much it.
That's it. Pretty much. Thank you so much for sticking with us here for an hour and a half, talking to us. I'm definitely gonna get my copy. If you're watching, make sure you get your copy of Woman as well too. It's on all digital platform. Go ahead and support Sweet Celine Meyer. I just love to call her that name. I guess I'm the only one to show how old I've been in this. I'm the only one that still know that full name. All these newcomer bloggers and talk show hosts don't know that full name. They
I
probably because
Yeah, and
it's
I
tired.
appreciate you. I appreciate you because you are a day one. You are a day one. So shout out to all my day ones because you guys know what it is. Y'all know my story. Y'all been following me and been seeing the growth, and I know you guys are proud of me. So thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. And say bye to all your fans. You want to say anything to your fans before you go? Because they're still watching now.
Yes, for my fans, both old and new, incoming, the ones that I'm receiving because I'm speaking it into existence. I love you all. Continue to stream Woman. There is a link in my Facebook bio and my Instagram bio. Click that link. It's a link tree link, and you'll see like the different platforms that Woman is on, and you can just click on it. Oh, before I go, right now there is a challenge that I started called the Woman Challenge, and I cleared off one verse for a lucky winner. So all you have to do is, like I said, hit the link in my bio, link tree. The first link, it'll say official Woman Challenge. You go there, you download it, and you upload a video of you singing or rapping, doing a little do, and tag me in it. I will repost, and the winner wins $250. Instagram being a hater because my advertisement, they don't want to redo it,
Oh,
but either way,
wow. I need to start
Insta-
getting ready for that challenge. I need that $250. I need to get ready for the challenge.
Instagram say what it say, I'm advertising false and employment opportunity, no problem. Anyway, for my people to get rich small, 250 or 250. I'll send y'all videos in. We in week number 2.
Okay. So how
Yeah.
many more days or weeks do we have to enter into the challenge? The
As long as
contest.
the videos keep on coming, as long as the challenge is gonna go for, and make sure you tag other people and tell other people to tag me as well, because the more views, you know, that's
Okay.
how the winner's
Okay.
chosen. So yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much again for stopping by and talking to us here. Wish you good luck and success
Thank
on that
you.
single. Hopefully you sell more copies of it. And when I log
Thank
on,
you
I'm
so
going on my
much.
Amazon right now. I'm gonna go and get my copy as well.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. So it was great talking to Sweets today. It was been amazing. Thank you all for following, watching. I know we've been on here for quite a while, but thank you very, very much for tuning in. Tomorrow we're going to be talking to the advocates for the people against rape in Liberia. Of course, we all are, so make sure you tune in. They are going to be raising funds for the march because they're doing the grand march in Liberia. I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, the 25th to the 27th is hosted and ran by Benita Uris. So we're going to have her and her team on the show tomorrow as well too. So if you want to be part of that conversation, make sure you keep it locked here tomorrow between 11 to 12 noon Central Time. Okay. Thank you all so much for rocking with me. I'll see you guys next time. It's Miss Ella Diva.